Here, I'm MJ. I'm the founder of Ultra Love. I run this YouTube channel where I like to do the daily readings for fun and entertainment, and I'm intuitively guided and have been my entire adult life. So we just do what we do, you know. I like to show up, I share from the heart, and I've been working with tarot for over 5 years professionally as a way to, garner insight, clarity, and intuitive nuggets from, well, for people's journey, really. And people do ask, so like it was an interesting thing. I've been working with tarot personally, like for myself, and I remember seeing a reader back in 2012, and I got into the cards and worked with them, or just as a practice for myself. And then circa 2019, I got guided to do these daily shares, like for fun, as a way to tune in and kind of share my routine. And then people were asking, and even part of my human design chart, there's a sense of my path being guided by people's invitation. So here we are. Let's get into your reading for the month of June. These are intuitive readings. You are the master. You are the creator and the power of your life. So remember, tarot and externals don't have power over you. They are reflections and can hopefully support and love and guide one another through the journey of life. Divine guidance and loving clarity. Divine guidance and loving clarity. This is for Aquarius. Anyone be resonating or who's meant to find these messages for their highest path ahead. Divine guidance and loving clarity for my Aquarian lovers. Some of you guys are dealing with some pretty brutal anxiety and conflict. Or you're overcoming it. There's a lot of angst. There's a lot of like overwhelm. Maybe some of you might be emotionally overwhelmed. There could be conflicts at home. So this slightly anxious and conflicted energy that you're feeling, experiencing, going through, there could just be a lot going on. You might be feeling really overwhelmed. The energies are directing you to a deepening of love, a deepening of your self-love, and a deepening of the love that you share with another. A partner, a love partner, that kind of vibratory. I'm getting an image of, like, you know, if you're in quicksand or you're like falling, and then there's like that image of something reaching down and you being like, you reaching up, grabbing the thing and being pulled out of the shit, or being pulled out of whatever. There's almost this sort of energy where love, your relationship to self, your loving connection to source, being your creatorship, that's the kind of, it's like that's the light that you're following. That's how you're going to see your way out of this. I feel like some of you are just surrounded by some difficult stuff. People fighting. Like, say you're a parent, you're and a spouse. It's like the spouse is having a hard time at work. The children are all going through some shazam, and you're just there in the middle trying to hold it all down. And it's getting to you. You're starting to feel tired. You're starting to feel overwhelmed. Hence, I need to get out here. Like, I need a break. Mom or dad or whatever. I need to look after myself. Aquarius, divine guidance, loving clarity. The Sun card wants to be known. I feel like this is a little bit of hope, or just trust that you're gonna... I mean, oh my gosh, speaking to 2019, when I started that, I remember somebody on my YouTube channel being like, it was a kind comment. It was a comment about love and journey, and it's something I said, obviously, in the YouTube share. They were like, wow, you're on quite a path, and they alluded to it like it's going to keep getting more difficult. And in my mind back then, summer 2019, or even like, into fall, it was like, that's impossible. It couldn't get worse than this. As in, at that time, I literally felt so alone. in complete financial collapse. And like, yeah, I just remember like life's got to get better. And interestingly, like the way it works to me is like, oh, it's not ever going to give us what we think we want. It's going to give us the journey that we need to be who we're here to be. And yeah, like now here we are in 2014, and and maybe it's different for different collectives, but it has been a relentless. It's almost like if you ever gone out in really wavy water, it's hard to get past the break, right? Because you keep getting like bosh by those waves. That's a little bit like of the energetics, especially since that lockdown. But building up into that lockdown, there was a kind of impact of like, and I believe this is for the collective. Of course, I could be wrong, and that's okay. But that lockdown was a collective imprint, a collective agreement. And to me personally, it's a karmic one, that it's like a ring not pass. Is that an expression? Like, y'all as a collective have done enough, gone as far as you're going to go, etc., etc. Stop. And like, it's shifting our value system, but look at us all on the other side. We have this sort of trigger point of war cycles just kicking off everywhere, an increase awareness of sensitivity, especially from the kind of younger generation, which are rising into their power, not tolerating shitty, shallow celebrity culture, not tolerating the war cycles, and of course doing their research, which is evident and out there for all of us as far as the corruption of leadership, globally speaking. And I think sadly what we're seeing as well, connected into that corruption, is the somewhat futile expressions of these so-called international humanitarian bodies, which some of these elitist countries can veto. So it's all, sadly kind of a facade. Like, let's pretend we have these bodies. And yet here we are all feeling really helpless to not being able to stop something that we were all bombarded. All of us learned about the Holocaust and about World War II, and a lot of us are questioning why that war specifically, because it kind of justifies the rhetoric or the narrative that they're trying to create in the here now. So we're in it, my lovers. We are in. And I believe this is that kind of beginning of the end of the old paradigm, where we have to break free from the illusion of separation. And of course, that's to do with transactions. That's to do with energetic exchange. We have to become energetically aware so that we can exchange again in harmony and know what that is. The economy and a lot of the kind of structures of our world have only served to separate us from our source. We look at Godhead, or you look at a figurehead from religious construct, and we're taught to like bow to the deity rather than find the deity within self, or find that God source connection within self. So to me, this is a part of the paradigm shift, is unifying the sense of self with the totality, and that's happening through the evolution of our awareness as a species, to remember the God source that we are, so that we can create in loving benevolence for the whole. Aquarius is a big part of that expression as well. Like, Aquarian energy has to do with how we embody our autonomy, right? How we embody our uniqueness and authenticity, and allow that to be authentic in a whole. So it's only via the self-awareness of the wholeness that we are that we can express authentically and actually coordinate ourselves in a greater harmonic in community. But trying to function as a community from that old paradigm is just sort of battling heads, or often triggering a lot of defensiveness. And again, that's what I'm seeing in the macro micro. A lot of us will be, as the collective rising occurs, more and more people are, one, waking up to the systematic injustice, but also there's this greater shift of empowerment to step away from the abusive cycles in our own personal lives, whether it's our own shitty thinking, whether it's the types of people we've been attracting as far as like how they treat us, or, and a lot of us are resolving in truth the childhood trauma that we've inherited. And that's how, to me, we can take, we can have utmost compassion, for the totality is that we're healing from generational trauma and abuse. So whether or not our parents or other people really understand that, to me, it's important for the healers and the people on the path to understand that it's not just about you. And I get that too. Like, we're not, it's not self-important, even though that can be kind of part of the journey. And I know it too, like this whole spiritual ego, my God, you can start to feel really good with all this work. And then if there's a distortion, it will come back to smack you in your loving face in a most loving way. Like, no, you're off course. You're not in your integrity, as in, if we're here in true service for the whole, if we're here to truly bring about the light of our own love, to share that via our darkness, that's healing karma, via the pain of the darkness that we've embodied and inherited in the the totality of our expression. And interestingly, remember too that expressed shadow comes out when we repress and deny the darkness within. Part of, to me, this pain and is a huge part of our denied resistance, denied forgiveness, or denied just reality. Like pretending like a bunch of these elitist world leaders haven't come via corruption, that a lot of the world's wealth, people who have inherited generational wealth, recognizing that wealth often is coming via the enslavement and the bombardment and the actual stealing through control and force of other people. Like, I'm Canadian, I don't know about you guys, but like the colonialist imperialist Britannia came to the UK, came to the North Americas and wiped out, for the most part, the people who inhabited these lands. So this whole, like, what we're seeing expressed in the world, to me, is almost like the beginning of the end of the recognition of why and how that colonialist imperialist worldview is never going to get us to where we need to go. It's going to destroy us if we don't arise beyond it. If we can't get over the construct of money as a form of exchange, it will keep us stuck. And we'll be in these endless war cycles, versus the evolution of our species to be unified with the earth plane and to remember who we are as one. It's there. It's there, where you love. And that's what empathy is. Like, if you can't feel yourself and feel others, we're fractured, we're disconnected. Divine guidance and loving clarity. Let's get some more messages for my Aquarian lovers. You might be going into a little bit of a cocoon vibratory. Some of you as well, you might be moving. And the movement could, like, say you're in a partnership and it's like, we need to get a second home, or we need to get another place. Because it's like you're needing this little bit more time to be able to reflect on things. I mean, no doubt, this is a pretty heavy read. As far as, like, there's a lot of overstimulation or conflict, or, like, being triggered and waking up in the night and being like, oh God. I got into a really bad habit a few weeks ago where I was waking up and then checking things, and then I'd see the most horrific images and be like, oh my God, I need to stop this, right? So the movement card and magician, or this is a lot about, like, you're getting clear, wishing upon a star, and then endeavoring to manifest. It's like, what do I want to do next? Where do I want to go next? You're not, and this isn't something you need to say to anyone, talk to anyone about, but you want to get clear for yourself before you move forward. Yeah, a lot of you might be feeling pretty, like, just all over the place. Hence, go do stuff alone for a bit. Get quiet, Get quiet for the alignment. I wouldn't rush into anything in the here now. Certainly in the earlier parts of June, I'm hearing, like, I definitely wouldn't rush into anything. Again, there's a lot of distraction, hence coming into yourself. There could be one other person, like your partner or a good friend, that you're wanting to talk to, but truly this is more about you really coming into your soul self, your heart center, and honoring that. What does your body need? What does your mind need? What does your heart need, right? For some of you, just practicing gratitude, feeling grateful for what we got, when we got it, where we're at. I'm just going to pick the final energies here. It's like, this is like pulling in and refraining until you're ready to express. Just a wholehearted reminder, suppressing or repressing our emotions does not do anybody good. It doesn't. It's the complete falsity. It's like denying the truth of our existence and pretending like pretending like the darkness doesn't exist, pretending like we don't have an inner reality. You know, like we all have emotions. Pretending like we don't isn't going to serve anything or anyone. If anything, it's only going to keep us bound. Like, that is a truth. Like, if we keep repressing and suppressing our emotions, it will simply keep us bound to where we're at. It's not good or bad or right or wrong. It just is like, if you're happy with all of the patterns, pardon me, and all of the people, fantastic. If you're not, but you resist expressing any emotions, thus healing. I mean, some of the characters might appear to change, but the actual dynamic of being entrapped is there. And again, when it comes to suppression and repression and or the totality of being in dominion of our lives, as one, as a unified field, this, it just doesn't serve anything or anyone. And again, it kind of it serves to keep us really isolated as well when we can't express ourselves. And again, it's a part of a program, and I couldn't tell you exactly, but like, I think about the burning of the witches in, 500-600 years ago. I think about that shift and that kind of forceful aspect of control, where they talk about how the church would have excavated from the witches. They would have received a lot of wisdom. Again, is it Bacon or somebody who born the kind of modern medical industry as it is? It was like taking the healing wisdom from these burning witches and then creating an imperialist constructed worldview that then can control and dominate over people. So it was like there was wisdom. All of this colonialist imperialist kind of action through the ages has really just served to repress the wisdom, repress the truth of the people who actually did align and live in alignment with the earth. And again, natives and tribe folk and even the so-called witches of the time would have just been connected to the soul and the heart of humanity and the planet Earth. So we would have had a recognition and an awareness of the medicinal properties of plants, but also the medicinal property of a loving heart. And this is where I was getting that sense of like art. That's why making love or like being like having touch and having intimacy, why is that important? Because it's like medicine. It can make us feel better. It's a Holla Shazam, my lovers. North Node, future. So yeah, this is about the future. This is about us moving forward in a way that we want, in a way that feels good. And again, that Aquarian energy, like a lot of my favorite female astrologers are Aquarians. And I have, when I look at my Placidus chart, I do have almost fully actually. Like Aquarius is my first house, and it's just the final few degrees where Aquarius goes into the second house as well. So I do see that sense of Aquarian energy being more highlighted, and thus people like mentors, teachers, astrologers, like I was saying, having that Aquarian signature are examples of the new leadership and the new ways of communicating. And of course, Jupiter and Gemini, we're all so Aquarians, you're going to have some trines, right, with obviously with the Pluto there, but then big time Jupiter moving through Gemini is going to be trining any of your Aquarian placements. So I'm sure that will be like a positive upliftment. And then for a lot of us, just continuing to expand our communication and structures. So that Saturn cards come in as well. So for some of you, it's like building upon, or even I would say building toward the structures, the daily habits, for example. So figuring out what you really love here now for yourself, like not for other people, like what do you love, how do you see your future, etc., etc. Taking that time you need, and then even vision, like how would you like your daily life to look, and see how it goes trying to make that happen. Because there's a lot of joy or potential for joy and fun. Of course, we don't want to overdo it, so we want that sense of practicality, hence not rushing into anything, thinking about what is actually sustainable for you, Aquarius, but definitely coming into a greater sense of self-love. And again, maybe even just within yourself, but probably important to find a mentor, teacher, healer, or just another person, a spouse, a partner, who can hold space for you when you need to express your emotions. I could see also there's communication between the Queen of Pentacles. So some of you might be having communication between an earth sign. Yeah. Could be to do with like a divorce or something as well. Oh, look who's come along. Obi Leish. Obi Leish, say hello to the Auto Love community. Hey, buddy. Oh, you're going to get on my cards. Oh, look. Aquarius. Oh, baby. Oh, Baelish. I sing. He keeps me such good company. And I have this little thing, which I myself am like watching myself being like, what are you doing? Say, oh, Baelish. Oh, Baelish. Oh, Baelish. He gets a song all to himself. Ugh. And I saved a little mole creature, like a little... And then the blessed little creature bit me on my finger, which made me think I need to kind of like put some antiseptic or something. Anyway, Obi, you creature, and the cat killed a little bunny rabbit the other day. Sorry. Oh no. Anyway, Aquarius, that I'm gonna leave your reading there. Oh wait, one more card actually, just one more from this deck. I've not pulled from it. Ooh, interesting. So yeah, you know how I was like Gemini, Jupiter moving to Gemini, holla good times. For some of you, there could be a little bit of a deep dive into like sexuality for like pleasure, stuff for pleasure. And obviously I would recommend like safe containers, obviously. But yeah, there might be a little bit of and there again, be mindful of the excess. Be mindful of too much food, too much partying, too much pleasure that can swing the other way. But there's a bit of a spiciness here. I don't like, it's not good or bad. It's just like, for example, too, the 5th house is about giving birth. You might just be like, spice up your life because you and your partner want to have a child, right? Like that's part of the clarity with these generals. Like there's so many, obviously, like infinite options, but you're wanting to enhance joy. You're wanting to enhance passion projects. You're wanting to be more of who you are and enjoy it. And so that's like stepping into it. For some of you, that's having more sex with your partner. For some of you, it's maybe starting dating again if you're single. But you're having this, there's definitely like communication between an earth sign and an air sign, which is maybe trying to help heal after a turbulent time, or like if there's been a divorce, it's like hanging out with a friend to help deal with that fallout, or if there's been a breakup or a tower come down or a resistance to things, like just needing to lean on like a good pal to work through some of these underlying, distractions, overwhelm, conflict, sleepless nights, grief, fair bit of heavy emotion. But again, suppressing it, denying it's not going to help. So you're having to like express, Yep, express, and then think to the joyfulness, and then think to the sustainability of that joyfulness as it moves into that kind of day-to-day routine thing. Oakley dokley. I feel like the cat has found another creature. Obelish. Anyway, we're going to leave it there for you, Aquarius. Thank you so much for coming along to my channel and supporting All to Love as a brand. I sell merchandise. I do have a book that I published 8 years ago called The Fearless Life Guide, which is really my own intuitive interpretation of shadow work. There's nuances that I'd probably re-edit at this point. I no longer believe that we need to be rising ourselves up. I think we're already whole and unified, and that going down is part of up and up is down. So, but anyway, there's products, there's online courses. You're welcome to book private readings and sessions with me. The merchandise. I think that's it. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful month, Aquarians. You guys are rocking it. Yeah, and stand strong. Don't forget to express yourself. You've got this. Loving yourself and choosing love will always see you through. Have a great month of June, Aquarius. I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Take care. Peace out.